Hello, this is Michele Knight. This is your January monthly astrology Aries. Now I'm doing this in sound as I'm running around like a headless post-Christmas chicken. So I hope you'll forgive me. I do fully intend to be in vision with the yearly. Anyway, let's kick off with your exciting January horoscope. Firstly, we have Mars and Neptune conjunct on the 1st, sextiling the Sun. You have great intuitive ideas about your career, and you are also feeling very, very mystical, full of empathy, maybe a bit of sentimentality, but you're really kind of feeling things very deeply. It is actually one of the most magical times of the year for you, where your psychic superpowers are fully charged. On top of that, we have Venus entering the 12th house, also your 12th house, which is making you very romantic and wanting to merge with people and touch the very souls of people. But it can also make you a little bit of a daydreamer, maybe have fantasies that are unrealistic, or get involved in relationships or flirtations which don't necessarily end up going where you think. Now on the 7th, we have the Sun and Pluto conjunct. This is very intense and very powerful. For you, it's connected to your career. There are massive changes coming to your career, but it also gives you the opportunity to find your power. Find out what you're good at, take a risk, maybe not until Mercury goes direct on the 9th, but it makes you step forward and go, do you know what? I'm not going to be frightened. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be who I'm meant to be when it comes to my career and who I feel I should be in the world. So that's very, very powerful. We've got a major planetary significant event on the 10th with Jupiter sextiling Saturn. Now, this for you gives you an opportunity to grow, particularly when it comes to your relationships actually, and to build very solid foundations. If you've been nervous about laying foundations, or if you've been kind of holding back in any way, or even if you're single, whatever, this gives you the opportunity to grow and stretch yourself and experience a solid growth in your relationship sector. Now, if you take in Uranus, Ceres and Eris, we get a mystic rectangle on the 10th. There's a big shift in energy to stretch you in general and to bring you into your power, to bring you into your warrior self, to move forward into the new year being very, very true to yourself. On the 12th, we have a full moon in your position of family and home. It's a great time for being around people in your family, coochieing up together, snuggling in, and having a peak experience. And also having a kind of intuitive revelation on that day. If there's any problems in your family, if there's anything going on in your home that you need to sort out, the moon should give you a sign, a symbol, a signpost into exactly what to do. Having said that, you also have a peak emotional experience. So if there's something you're unhappy about connected to your home and family, you might find yourself more emotional on that day. But if you're happy, you could have a peak experience of happiness. Now again, if you include Ceres and Eris as a Cardinal Grand Cross on the 12th, and Ceres and Eris and Uranus are all in your sign, and it's squaring the Moon and Vesta, and it's conjunct, and that's squaring Neptune, squaring Sun and Pluto. You catch my drift. I don't need to go on. It's very, very intense. There's something's coming to a point, something's coming to a head. And also anything in your life that you're contradicting yourself with, anything in your life that's out of balance, that in a way you know is out of balance. You know there are sort of things that we ignore, like the way we are in the world and maybe the way we are with our family or our friends. There may be a disjointedness there. There's something's coming ahead to you in terms of your career and your relationships. Now, at the time, these can feel quite intense, particularly as it's also the same day as the full moon. But ultimately, it's to help us rebalance. Now, Venus and Neptune are actually conjunct on the 13th, and Mercury re-enters your position of career. So I would say it's from the 13th onwards, maybe a few days later, that you can really focus on your career. And on top of that, on the 14th, we have a grand fire trine, Uranus, Ceres and Eris conjunct in your sign. A trining the moon and trining Saturn and Juno. Yeah, baby. It's a very powerful day for you. Hopefully you should be feeling optimistic and you can see the future, you can sense the future, and you're like, right, I know what I've got to do and I'm there. Now we do have Saturn squaring Mars on the 19th, which is a little bit tension. It's all about your dreamy self and how you can grow, and a little bit of a kind of maybe feeling a bit restricted. You might feel that you want to do more, and for whatever reason you can't, but it passes. The Sun enters your position of socializing. You go into a phase of socializing on the 20th. You get out there, connect with people, social networking's good, all that stuff is working in your favor. You're also feeling very powerful when it comes to your sexuality and your sensuality on the 20th. And you're opening up on the 28th, which is also the Chinese New Year of the Red Fire Rooster. And that's a time where you have a new cycle. You're meeting new people for the rest of the year that you feel very connected to. You might mix with new groups of people, have new collaborations, but you're feeling very optimistic. Now the big news for you, of course, is we have Mars, your ruler, entering your sign on the 28th. Oh yeah, you are super powerful, have a super energy boost. Now obviously Mars has, as well as being sexy, passionate and highly charged, you might find yourself more irritable or more eager, or accidentally go into warlike situations with people, so need to calm that down. Generally in the world, actually, it might be a bit of a dodgy time, Mars being the planet of war in its home Aries, but for you, you can use it to your advantage as an energy super boost. Mercury is conjunct Pluto on the 29th. Big conversation about your career, and you're definitely raring to go. So this month has it all, really. It has you energized, it has the mystical, and it has the magical. And it's up to you to find out what's out of balance in your life and correct it for the coming year. Have a stunning month and a stunning 2017. Thank you so much for your support in the year. I send you a ton of love. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. I'd love to say a really big thank you to everybody that voted for me in the Soul and Spirit Awards. I was blown away by the response, and I'm really humbled and touched to tell you that I won Best Loved Psychic, Best Loved Astrologer, and Best Spiritual Website. So thank you so much. As you may know, it's not easy to get a reading with me. I do them very sporadically, but I have a fantastic team of psychics who are brilliant. Here's a little 1 minute, because I know some of you complained about it being too long, 1 minute video about them.
I like to class a reading as an oasis for the soul.
I like to think that it's a very individual feeling.
I think in my readings people feel a sense of a safe space where they can really be themselves.
Time out, where we can really spoil ourselves.
But they're still quite shocked when you give them very accurate information.
When I get validations, it's amazing.
I feel integrity is a huge part of it for me, because without that, I wouldn't be doing this work.
It's about guidance. It's about hope. It's helping people have clarity, I think.
I love that light bulb moment when I finish work, I come off the phone and it's like, yeah, I've made a little bit of a difference.
It's heartfelt in here when I read for a client.
I love making a difference to people's lives.